Whether you like it or not, the new Supra is here, and there's nothing the 2JZ Mark IV Supra fanboys can do about it. And with all the bitching and moaning, the 2020 Mark V Toyota Supra is on track to become the most hated car of 2019, and not a single car has even been sold. With that being said, I was able to spend a little bit of time at work today with the Toyota Supra because I work at the Toyota North American headquarters, and I figured I'd throw this little video together of all the footage that I took. It's mostly pictures, not a lot of video, but it's mostly pictures or some video. And I'd throw a little bit of information for you, help educate you a little bit on what's going on with this car, or at least more in the realm of some figures. Horsepower, 0-60. Most of you probably already heard this alright, but we're going to go ahead and go over it again. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to drive the car, and the reason behind that is because of the fact there was only one car. It was a Toyota event for all the employees at the North American headquarters in Plano, Texas, and it was held indoors. So I am hoping at some point I could probably drive this car, whether it's through somebody else or through Toyota, who knows, but I would like to get a chance to drive the car. So, that being said, let's get to the information of the video. As we all know, the Mark V 2020 Toyota Supra shares its chassis and drivetrain with the BMW Z4. What you may not know is that the Supra makes do with 335 horsepower, 265 pound-feet of torque. And I mention that because the Z4 is actually rated, here in the US anyways, for 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. So the BMW has a little bit more than the Toyota. They both share the 3-liter inline-6 turbocharged engine, and it comes paired with an 8-speed flappy paddle gearbox. There's no standard transmission option, as all of you are aware, because, well, you bitch about it. And there's no talk of whether or not there could be one in the future, but who knows, things could change a couple of years down the road. It may happen, it may not. But right now they're just getting it out there with the automatic, seeing what happens, and they'll go from there. So if you really, really want standard transmission, let it be known. Which, you guys are doing a good job at that anyways. So estimated 0-60 speed is about 4.1 seconds according to Toyota. It hasn't been officially tested yet, but that will be coming soon now that the car has been officially released. And it does have an electronically limited 155 mile an hour top speed. The wheelbase is 97.2 inches. Not only is it shorter than the Mark IV by about 3 inches, I believe, but it's actually shorter than the Scion FRS Subaru BRZ Toyota GT86. It also has a lower center of gravity than the Mark IV and the FRS GT86. Comes with a 50-50 weight distribution, and weighs in at 3,397 pounds, which is just a touch lighter than the Mark IV Supra. On the inside, you get BMW's iDrive infotainment system. And this is a good thing, because Toyota's current infotainment system isn't the greatest in the world. To me, it seems to lack a little bit. They're getting a lot better for the infotainment system in their cars, and this is a great start. You're also going to notice that the Supra and the Z4 do not share the same interior. They've been designed differently to appeal to the different buyers between Toyota and BMW, and to help differentiate the two of them. The seats have plenty of bolstering that are going to hold you in, because the Mark V Toyota Supra is a track-focused car, whereas the Mark IV was more of a grand touring car. Not as big as some of the grand touring cars, but I would say it's more of a grand touring car until you start going crazy with boosting it and everything else. And of course, you Mark IV fanboys are going to notice and point out there's no rear seat in this Supra. That's because it shares the same chassis as the BMW Z4. That is a convertible. There is no rear seat room in that. There never has been in the Z4. So, pricing for the new Supra is going to start right around $50,000 for the base model. It's actually like 49 and some change, so just under 50 grand. The launch edition, which there is going to be 1,500 of them produced for the US, that's going to be a little over $56,000. In Japan, there will be a 4-cylinder turbo option, good for 255 or 194 horsepower. There's no word if the 4-cylinder engine is going to make its way to the US Supra as an option, but if it ever does, I would assume it's probably going to be the 255 horsepower version. So there you go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the photos and a little bit of video that I got of the car. and a little bit of information which you may or may not have known, probably most of you know. I will be honest with you, I was not too keen on the idea of this new Supra when I heard it was going to be basically a BMW Z4 on the underside of it, and obviously the heart and transmission of Z4. With that being said, I looked at this car with an open mind, not because I work at Toyota's North American headquarters, but because I am a car guy. Can't really count something out until you really know what's going on with it. So I hope you guys give the car a chance, or at least look at it with an open mind before you just say, well, it's not a Mark IV Supra. Now, a little bit of information you may not know also is why the Mark IV Supra was discontinued in 1998 for the U.S. market. There was problems with the emissions, trying to meet emissions, and the sales were falling off, so they got rid of it. Without this collaboration with BMW, there would be no Mark V Supra, so you should look at it that way. And I know what you're going to say, they ruined it, blah, 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 whatever. But it is what it is. The new Supra is here, and it's not going anywhere for the time being, at least not for this life cycle. It was good for Toyota to actually share the cost and being able to develop the car with BMW to help keep the price point down. If they went ahead and built a new Toyota Supra all on its own with its own engine, blah, 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 the cost to the customer would be astronomically high. There's no way you'd be able to get a Supra in the $50,000 range. You'd be looking more along the lines of $150,000, $160,000, and that definitely isn't going to sell. With that being said, if you think about it, back in the 90s when this car was out, i.e. the Mark IV, compared to today, there's about a $9,000 difference. That doesn't even really make up for the inflation, so you're getting a little bit of a cheaper price on the new Supra as you are the last Supra. So, you guys have a great day. By the way, the only Supra I really, really do not approve of is this one.